We don't have to be friends. You go your way, I go my way.
Thank you so
peace.
much.
Thank you.
I hate it when people lie to me.
Hey! No, I had to tell her. You had to tell her. I hate when you do that.
My name is Grace Kim. I'm a writer at NextShark, and this is my colleague, Gabriel Zhang. He's a producer. So my first question is directed towards Christine and also Anna. Your rivalry is obviously a huge part of the show. Where can fans expect it to go? Do you think it'll ever end? And also, is there any love behind it, or is it really just all drama?
You know, I met Anna 5 to 7 years ago on a flight to Couture Week, of course, and we bonded in vlog premiere and in our PJs. And back then, the things we had in common were fashion and jewelry and all things fun. Somehow, in season 1, I thought it was a fun kind of back and forth, a little ping pong for the rich, I guess. Somehow it turned really dark and serious. What started out as just fun and games turned into some kind of grudge, I think she might be holding against me, which continued on to kind of like picking at me. Yeah, it's a little disappointing. I think two adults don't need to be best of friends, but I think a level of being courteous is greatly appreciated. So unfortunately, our fun rivalry takes kind of a sour turn this season.
Love? No. Okay. No. I don't, Jamie, help me here. You know, I think she brought it on herself because I've known her through Fashion Week for years, but we've never been really friends. So then we're here now, today, season 1. And all of a sudden there's this rivalry. And then she tells me that she was told to be this way. So I don't know. I'm just me. And she is what she is trying to be, or she's very, I don't really think about her. So at the end of the day, if this is what she wants to do, I just kind of go with the flow. I'm not trying to not be friends with her. I'm not trying to be friends with her.
It's just out of your mind then.
Yeah, I don't really see her too much. So, yeah. You know,
I know
different people, you know, it just, if it works, it works. Sometimes opposites attract and sometimes they don't. But when you're put in a room and you think differently, I mean, it's really, really hard to say, do I want a friendship? No, I think friendships are built as it should be naturally. Not kind of like, and friendships are supposed to be real. Therefore, when she plays these games and wants to turn around on me, it's okay. She can do them, but I just don't participate in the game part. If that makes sense.
Fans of Bling Empire have seemingly been divided into like 2 opposing teams, Team Christine and Team Anna. What team are you guys on, and who do you see coming out victorious in this infamous social warfare, and why?
I'm actually more not Team Anna. I would say like Anna's more real and direct, and I prefer people that are more direct. Even Anna and I have some conflicts, but it's easy to like mitigate them. We just talk through them, and we've had a real friendship before, Anna and I. But with Christine, it's always been like a social kind of friendship, like, okay, and I'll see you at dinner, I'll see you at this event, I'll see you, and like, it's never been like a real friendship. And that's fine, because everyone has different friendships. And if I had to save on a drowning boat or an island, I would save Anna and not Christine. So
I like to be Switzerland and right in the middle.
Just say it.
I think if I had to pick one, I will pick Anna as well, for kind of the same reason that came out.
I'm gonna go for the underdog. I'm going with Christine. I'm joking. Okay, I'm lying. Oh my goodness, that's a tough one. I'm gonna be very honest. It's a tough one for me because I'm all about, you know, trying to find the good side of people. And I tried. I'm going with Anna.
I'll probably be the wild card. I didn't really get to see much of Anna this year. Just in general, I didn't see much of her. Christine was really there for me when it came to like being when I was down in the dumps, when I was in fights with the group or heartbreaks and shit like that. So Christine was always there, and by the way, she's always on time, which is great, or most of the time, and she shows up. Anna has a hard time with time, and I kind of just I have a hard time with that. And so I don't like, for me, if I can text Christine, she'll be there at this point. I don't feel the same with Anna, so I'm gonna go with Team Christine this time.
Anna doesn't have a phone.
She's got 2 phones, Kim.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Okay, this one's for Kevin. I'm assuming you're a bit more familiar with the whole Bling Empire turf now after season 1. Do you feel like you're less of an outsider? Was it any different when you were shooting for season 2?
Well, I definitely felt more comfortable with the extravagant lifestyle. Probably got a little bit too comfortable at some point. It's like, wow, you just start going on boats and losing rings on a boat, and you just think, okay, But I think like 2 years ago, I would have been sad and probably crying a lot more about losing stuff like that. But I don't know. I feel like my style's upgraded a little bit too, just by being around people. But also too, I've moved away from Kane, so I can't borrow his clothes as much. So I think you'll see a style change in the middle of season 2, where I can't go into his wardrobe and borrow some of his clothes anymore.
Kevin and Kim, considering last season you guys were throwing drinks at each other, and now we get to see more of a romance build up. How did that start? What was the moment where?
Whoa. She threw a drink on me.
But why did I throw that drink on you?
Because you don't like wolves? You're more of like a tiger girl? I don't know.
I guess it was weird. Kevin and I have such like a weird frenemies, I don't know what you call it, type of friendship. It's like we get along, we don't get along. And then, he is a charming guy. I love how I'm talking like he's not here. He's a charming guy. And, I have past trauma and stuff, but he's always been there for me. So I was like, okay, let's see where things go. I don't know. You need to ask Kevin this question.
I got it. No, I thought you did great. Personally, look, it was one of those things. You hear about those relationships, right? That you hate each other in the beginning, then you really start to see the real person at the end. And I think that kind of happened with me and Kim in first season, and then second season. We're like, okay, let's just see how this goes. We both have very strong personalities, I would say. We both could handle the fire, I think. And so we're both like, okay, well, if anyone's going to be able to put up with both of our personalities, maybe it's us. I don't know. What do you think, Kim? Right?
No comment. I mean, I guess so. We're very much alike. We're both really outgoing and flirtatious at times. And, it's tough because in the very beginning, I'm a firm believer of like, don't date your friends. Don't go there, because once you go there, it's like really hard to like go back and act like nothing happened, right? Am I right? Kind of? No?
Kelly specifically, season 1, you were caught up in a relationship and all of that, but in season 2, you get to experience the fun of being single. How was that? Was there like ever like a difference? Did you enjoy season 2 more? What was that entire experience like?
I definitely enjoy season 2 more. I think it was finding my own voice again, because season 1 was so much like I didn't feel the freedom and I wasn't feeling myself. And then season 2 is kind of like me breaking away and finding my voice and owning it and really just getting back to who I am. So it's such an empowering feeling.
I actually wanted to ask a question to Dorothy and Mimi. As newcomers, both of you seem to have been popped right into the middle of the eye of the storm in Bling Empire. What were some of your thoughts going into the show? Were you already familiar with this entire environment and ready to take it on, or did you feel like you were going in blind? Let's start with Dorothy. Yeah.
Hi. Do you mean? I just was coming on to meet some new people, see what was happening. I mean, I didn't really come in wanting to really get too involved or get into the middle of too much stuff. I do feel like a lot of it was kind of pressed upon me a little bit. In a way, I kind of stay in my own world for most of it. I don't know, I haven't seen the show, so I don't know how it comes off, but I mean, for people that know me and they know like my life, and I've kind of stayed away from certain people and interactions for most of my life, but obviously when you're thrown in this group and certain people are going to be in certain places where they place you, you have to interact, and I think that that is, and people are going to ask you about them and probe you, and you have to give your opinions, and so I think that that is probably what ends up being portrayed, but that kind of isn't exactly the mentality I went in.
Yeah, I mean, you're standing your ground, so that's still a trait a lot of people look up to. Mimi, honest
and speak my piece. And I think that a thing that people always ask me, what's the difference when you're filming a show and when you're not? I always say that in real life, if I'm at a lunch and if I have an opinion on something or I don't really like someone, I don't have to say it. And that's a great thing. You don't have to say it, but when you're on a show and you're there to give your opinions and you have to kind of speak what you feel. And in real life, I'm not just saying this and that about everyone all the time, but when you're on a show, you have to give your opinion. You're there to interact and say how you feel.
Definitely. What about you, Mimi?
For me, it's my first time in a TV show, so I'm really I'm still get used to it, but I really excited to make new plans, in a fashion,
Yeah. Okay, so this next question is directed at both of you. I want both of you guys' insight on this. So both of you have mentioned somewhere from like the show and in interviews that money doesn't really play that much of an importance in your guys' opinions. But Bling Empire obviously largely revolves around wealth. So I just wanted to see if you guys could give us some insight about how you balance this importance of money with its value. What do you guys do to, maintain that? If let's have Jamie go first.
Okay. For me, I always saw money as something that I'm just grateful to be able to have, that I don't have to think about or worry about when it comes to like certain things that may certain basic needs, because I always thought of the money as my parents' money also and not as my own. And we were raised, me and my brother, two brothers, we were raised by our parents like in a very normal sort of way. Like my mom, she took care of me and my brothers. We didn't have any nannies. We had one housekeeper. And I mean, I think it's mostly the way that you're raised plays a big role in how you see money when you get older and how money affects you. And so I credit a lot of it to my parents because they always kept us very grounded, even in fashion and being in high fashion and, being surrounded by so many like luxurious things. And of course, I have a lot of nice things that, that a lot of people my age would not be able to afford or anything, but I see it more as just like things that I just enjoy. And for me, it's more about like the styling and the fashion, not just about like owning them or the materialistic side or trying to show off. It's I don't know how to say it, but I really have to just, credit it to my parents for keeping me grounded and teaching me and my brothers from the very beginning that you don't need it to be happy in life, to make friendships with people, or it's not the most important thing in the world. So
Going on what Jamie just said, I mean, because here we have the age difference, right? And I was raised the same way, where it's easy, by the way, it's easy for people to hear, for us to say it. It's easy for us to say it because this is what we were born into. But I think however, I think my parents, like Jamie said, for but keeping us grounded. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know what I was born into. It is hard to say. It's really hard to explain, but so we didn't know, I didn't know any better. My two brothers didn't. This was life. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And as I got older, I realized that there's something different, but it's just something you don't talk about. It's not necessary to talk about. You don't use money to make your way. It's a means to help you to get to where you want to, let's say, for example, in school and whatnot. But at the same time, and we didn't know, you go to school, you go to school. We didn't have to worry about those things. Mm-hmm. But I'm grateful to my parents, and every day I'm grateful to them. Mm-hmm. My parents have passed away, and but I still talk to them. I'm of course. Very thankful. I'm very thankful, and if it weren't for them, I wouldn't have seen. It's not just money. When I say, like, Christine had made a comment, and I'm sorry to bring her into this, but that I repeat the same thing about what my teachings of my parents. Well, I was very fortunate and blessed to have the parents that I have in the present too, because they're the ones that taught me all the things that I know. The most important things you cannot buy. Mm-hmm. And when you want to buy something for somebody, they turn around and think you're buying them, or they take advantage of it. There are people who will do harm or do not the nicest of things to get, whether it's by love, whether it's by whatever it is.
I think that is all the time that we have, sadly. It's been so great talking to you all. Thank you so much for sparing some time to talk with us and give us a little bit of insight, and hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh my God, I am in complete shock. What the?
Oh, it's Kathy Hilton. You want to say hi?